Hastings, England, a former European and World Match Play champion and a former champion of the world voltage, Rob Cross. His opponent, the world number 13, with 7 professional titles to his name, from Bradford, England, the rock star, Joe Cullen! And would you please also welcome on stage one of our 2 referees for this darting weekend in Budapest, Mr. Hugh Ware.
Hello and welcome back to Budapest in Hungary for the final day of action of the Hungarian Darts Trophy. We have 15 players fighting it out for the title here at the Laszlo Papp Arena in front of what's set to be a record Euro Tour crowd. More than 4,000 fans will be here once everybody arrives. I mean, we've got thousands here already. I'm not quite sure we're at the 4,500 number we were expecting right at this second, but they will be over the course of the day, and they get to see some of the biggest names in the sport competing in the first European Tour event of the year. Just the 2 this year, but what a start to the Euro Tour it has been already. This weekend has seen some of the biggest names in the game win through to the final day. It's seen some of the rising stars of the sport win through to the final day, some of them for the very first time. A couple on debut, actually. There's a trophy and £25,000 in ranking money up for grabs today. And we start with Rob Cross, a former European champion, against Joe Cullen, a multiple winner on the European Tour. I'm Dan Dawson, former world number 1 Colin Lloyd will be in the commentary box with us this weekend, but we start alongside me with the asset Paul Nicholson as Voltage faces the rock star.
To throw first, game on.
Nice mix this afternoon, Dan, of people looking to kickstart their 2021, or maybe kickstart a career, or maybe consolidate
58.
their position in the rankings. We have the top 4 in the world this afternoon. That entices. But we have some players who are in a position over the next few months where they will lose ranking money. So an opportunity presents itself today to try and rescue some of that slide. And this guy's one of them.
Absolutely. Rob Cross, former European champion, of course. That was a couple of years ago, and that money is about to drop off his ranking. So a real opportunity for Rob Cross, not just to pick up money here today.
96.
Make sure he'll be at the European Championship. He's probably done enough, I think, really, because he is going to be in Gibraltar for the other European Tour event. As an unseeded player, he's only a seed here by virtue of being bumped up into the top 16.
4 grand safe.
I think he's probably going to be.
But I think he'll probably pick up more than that. And if he was to pick up his first European Tour title, excluding, of course, that European Championship, which we don't count, but that would be a nice shot in the arm for his career as it stands right now.
It's an interesting one, this. Both of these guys picked up their first PDC senior titles in 2017. Joe's not going to take the 136 and get a break of throw in this visit.
58.
But he has left himself a makeable 2-darter if Rob Cross can't take this.
Is this 19's first?
It is.
To leave himself on a double that he likes. He does like double 16.
From the first
a little bit more now.
Second leg
I think the process there, Dan, with the 103 is if he misses the treble, then he's automatically going 48-36.
Well, plus,
100.
in the old Bobby George school of thinking, if you go 19s, you miss one side, you hit a 3, still on the 2 data. Miss the other side on the 7, still on the 2 data. If you're going on the 20s there, yes, you can still do it if you hit the 5.
95.
If you hit the 1, game over.
There's a lot of logic behind going 19s on 103, and Rob has just proved that. And Dan has just proven it even more. So, school is out on finishing 103 for now, but we'll come back to that if somebody else leaves it, and maybe it'll be a different route for somebody else. But Rob Cross gets the start. At this stage, we would expect Joe Cullen to turn on the afterburners after a very good Saturday, which yesterday was, let's face it, 100 average. Looked good
91
against Kieta Vos, winning 6 legs to 3. And more than anything else, I think he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, looks like it. But it's an interesting
100.
matchup.
Joe, you acquire 170.
Let's see if Joe can have a crack at this. He's not going to have that quandary about whether to go for
58.
bullseye or not, and he won't be particularly happy with that. Needs him a 1 treble combo finish, and you can see the reaction. Because he's going to be put under pressure.
97. Joe, you
Rob
acquire
leaves himself on
112.
10 more than what he had last time. Might not get a shot at it,
80.
but does. So where does he go
Rob,
this
you
time?
acquire 113.
Is it 19s again? And if he gets the treble, potentially 20 double 18? No, he's going up top. So downstairs now. Doesn't get one of 2 shots at a treble that he required to get to the outer ring. So Cullen, 3 darts and double 16.
Joe, you
Expect
acquire
this to go
52.
for a tied game after 2.
Doesn't like it. Too close. Changing the angle of attack.
Games from the
Does
second
so
leg. Joe
expertly
Cullen.
there, Joe Cullen.
Third leg Rob, 2 for first. Game on.
Now, Joe Cullen is the top seed here. Rob Cross, as we said, has only just been bumped up into the seedings by circumstance.
60.
But they've had very, very different careers. Joe Cullen has been playing PDC stuff, youth and development stuff,
83.
before playing on the senior tour for years and years and years. And people saying, oh, he's going to be big, he's going to be big, he's going to be big. Took longer than he wanted. And it took him until 2017 to pick up his first title. That was the year where Rob Cross burst on the scene from absolutely
44.
nowhere. And within a very short space of time was winning lots of Pro Tour titles, became world champion in his debut year, and now has 3 major titles to his name.
140.
But whereas Rob has sort of dipped a little bit over the last couple of years, Joe, if anything, has got stronger. He was winning on the Euro Tour last year. He's got 7 titles to his name. He's been brilliant this year.
135.
And so even though Rob Cross's CV looks a lot better than Joe Cullen's, right now you'd probably say
58.
that Joe Cullen deserves that spot as being much higher in the seedings and is probably the better player, but it's very, very close. It's difficult to make that call because Rob Cross's pedigree, you've seen what he can
50.
do. It's just whether he can do it this afternoon and get through to this evening's action.
Yeah, I think Joe Cullen is slightly more reliable and consistent over the last couple of years. We have seen some explosive stuff from Rob Cross at times, but over the course of tournaments, I think with Cullen, you'd have to say that he's more
43.
likely to win
Joe,
right
you
now
require 40.
than Rob is, hence the difference in the seedings. Cullen for tops.
Games from the third
Doesn't
leg.
hesitate
Joe
this time,
Cullen.
doesn't have to move. That is a great
Fourth
13
leg Joe,
darter.
2 for first.
First break of the
Game
match,
on.
and Cullen showing strength right there.
Well, just to underline how this looks like an even kind of
135.
match. This is their 11th meeting and it's 5 wins apiece. Joe's biggest win, the only time he's made a major semi-final, he beat Rob Cross in the quarters of the European Championship
91.
back in 2018. He should have gone on and made the final. Missed darts to win that semi-final, went out in the semis, he was absolutely devastated by it. However,
99.
Rob Cross beat him in the European Championship the following year and went on to win it. He's also won all 3 of their previous meetings on the European Tour.
What was fascinating
100.
about their head-to-head record for me, Dan, is how there's never really been a dominant period for a player. Nobody's won a game in this head-to-head
96.
3 times in a row. The most is twice. So there's never been a spell of, say, Joe's beating Rob 4 or 5 times in a row. He hasn't owned him. They've jousted over the course of the last 4 years. And that's what makes this...
100.
I don't know, I wouldn't call it a rivalry. But that's what makes this head-to-head so intriguing, like you've mentioned.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup. I don't know what the bookies are making of it, about who they made favourite. I'll say I think Joe Cullen deserves to be favourite for this match. But Rob Cross is such a enigmatic player.
42. Joey required 54.
Very much second best over the last 5 minutes here, Rob Cross.
Oops. I like that play.
22.
Could have easily gone to the 3 to leave tops, because that's where he was after 12 in the last leg. But he'd much prefer to leave the 32. That's something that these guys share as well.
86.
Look for that double 16.
Joey required 32. Gauge on the 4th leg.
Very good from Joe Cullen. 3-1 up.
5th leg, Rob.
Averaging 99. So
game
that
on.
level of consistency that we've seen from him over the course of the last couple of years. It is visiting Budapest this week.
125.
An average yesterday in a somewhat strange game against Ross Smith. There were times where it was excellent, but times where it was a bit ordinary.
57.
Came away with that 94 average. In this game, he's only averaging 88, so time is running out, and he's going to have to start clacking that 60, in the words of Mark Webster.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
60.
Well, Cullen is doing what we expect him to do, averaging high 90s. Rob Cross, you know, there can be a burst from Rob Cross. He might just go a bit mad for 2 or 3 legs and completely spin this game. He's quite capable of just reeling off back-to-back 11 darters. But he's getting to a point in this match where he's going to need to do something like that. That's it. He's only been allowed 1 dart at double in this contest so far. Should get some more in this leg.
44.
Here.
Well, he's not doing yesterday what he was doing. He's not, sorry, doing today what he did yesterday, which is bagging in a few maximums. He got 4 against Ross Smith yesterday. But as far as one is concerned, I think Joe was in a class of his own yesterday, getting 8 of them.
Yeah, 8 in 9 legs against Gert de Vos.
44. Rob, you require 125.
Does he go the Harrington route here?
Well,
shouldn't do.
No, he shouldn't. And he doesn't. But he does get himself a dart at double top.
Gauge on the 5th leg.
Encouraging signs on the doubles for Rob Cross, because when he's getting a chance, he's pinning it first dart.
Speaking of Harringtons, Harrington Juniors had a 9 darter today at the Challenge Tour, so well done, Ryan. And the Challenge Tour is finished today. Quite a lot on the line, isn't there? Quite a lot indeed. Tour card, World Championship spot,
99.
Grand Slam spot as well.
Yep.
And quite a few quid.
Yeah, big money available on the Challenge Tour.
57.
Darts going on all over the place this weekend.
But this is the one that everybody wants to watch, because everybody wants to see who picks up
60.
the first European Tour title of the year. And there are players in this afternoon who have not won one. And one in particular
93.
hasn't won one in a while, and he's won the most of them. So I'll be fascinated to see what MVG does this afternoon, because that smile was back last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very impressive win over Darrell Gurney. He's going to
134.
take on another Northern Irishman, and Brendan Dolan later on.
92.
That treble made it really difficult for Cullen to leave a finish. That's the quandary of going 18s with dart 2 there. Could have made it slightly easier for himself if he'd have gone there with dart 1, but the 18s are a funny segment
98.
sometimes. When you get the treble on a 1-2-8 checkout, you almost make it just as difficult by getting the treble instead of actually finding the single.
Rob, you require 110.
But in a similar fashion to Rob Cross, he's left double 18 instead of leaving tops. However, this is where he steps back. Wipes the hand and then recalibrates.
78.
Big miss.
Joe, you require 36.
That would have leveled things up. And Cullen looking to re-establish two-leg gap.
Switch.
Gains on the 6th leg. Joe
A
Cullen.
roar from the rock star to re-establish the
7th leg rock,
two-leg
2
gap.
so first. Game on.
Do you know why he roared there? Dart players have very good memories. Part of his
100.
brain, he might not have remembered it as vividly as I just did, but he had 3 darts to beat Gary Anderson at the match play.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was that
96.
switch from the double 18 to the double 9. That's when the fly got in the way. So whenever he's confronted with that and gets the double 9, I think he just needs to vent a little bit. And I like that.
Well, it was his go-to double for so long.
180.
So Cullen, and he purposefully moved away because of the breakdown, going to 9s, and then if you hit this inside, you've got to waste another dart, so he does try to leave double top much more often. And actually coincided with him being more successful. Rob Cross suddenly getting a lot more successful in this game. Back-to-back 180s to leave 41 after 9.
93.
This is a bit more like what he did yesterday.
Rob, you require 41.
He's going to have to bridge a deficit here and start right here. If he can take care of it in 4 visits.
17.
No dramas. Double 12 when he comes back, but if you can find a 4-visit leg in leg 8 after taking care of this,
94.
the plot will thicken.
Rob, you require 24.
Got to get the first bit done first, though. Double 12.
Games
it
on
is.
the 7th leg. Rob Cross. 8th leg Joe to the 5th.
I love that little flick
Game
of the
on.
eyebrows that he does sometimes. Here it is. It's just typically Rob Cross.
84.
If he was more relaxed, he'd be horizontal.
And it's pretty much at the sort of level he was playing yesterday against Ross Smith. It was just enough
140.
to get through that game.
Do you know what? It was Alex Roy's birthday yesterday. 47 years old. Happy birthday, Alex.
140.
Noted as the most garrulous of dart players.
In a crowded field.
Yeah. He'd get a single room and talk to himself. But I think it's fair to say that
42.
Rob's fairly chatty, isn't he?
I mean, yeah, Rob and Alex Roy, that conversation might start and possibly never end.
100.
Well, Rob's going to have to find one of these little spurts, like he did in the last leg. He's got to find it against the Cullen throw. That the break of throw, it's either got to be some brilliance from Rob, or he's
55.
relying on Cullen slipping up.
Very similar yesterday. We had Damon Hetter against Simon Whitlock. Whitlock came out of the blocks,
137.
and he had the position to get really close to the finishing line, but he missed a few doubles. Damon stepped in and reeled off a lot to get to the finishing line. That's exactly what Rob needs to do here.
55.
But his biggest problem
Joe, you
is
require
that Joe's
40.
protecting his throw brilliantly. And
Games
yet
on
again,
the 8th leg.
not
Joe
in the middle,
Cullen.
but good enough.
9th leg Rob
He
to
does
the
get to
5th.
the
Game
point where
on.
he only needs one more leg to get into the quarterfinals. Where, of course, during this session, the winners of the games will
100.
play the winners of the game next to them. And in this case, it's either Wade or Humphreys. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, repeat of the UK Open final, repeat of a meeting at the World Match Play.
140.
Wade won the UK Open final, of course, but Luke Humphreys thrashed the machine in Blackpool.
3-13 darters in this match.
83.
As a sign of quality. But when you look at Rob's average of 91 and Joe's of 96, you'd have to say there have been a few slips
81.
in between those 13 darters, but excellent doubling from both. 50% for the two.
Well, with Joe Cullen's pedigree on the European Tour, it would seem weird that he's played anybody on the planet
98.
3 times on this circuit and lost every single one. But that's what's happened when he's gone up against Rob Cross in the past. Looking to put that right here.
80.
Doesn't massively help him, but it's about the setup shots here. Rob Cross, there's only one number he's thinking of, and it's 180.
Correctamundo.
140.
Now, he doesn't like tops, but he understands that 80 does require you to go 20s. He's not going to go full on Mervyn King here.
140. Rob, you require 80.
Joe Cullen after a bit of a blocker first dart. 2 darts away from the victory. And Rob crosses at treble 13 for tops. It is. Can he pin it? 1 dart. It has to go. And does.
From the 9th leg,
Rob Cross with a skin saver.
For someone who doesn't like tops, he's hitting it pretty well. Good game.
100.
Well, he has protected his throw, as you say, Paul, over the course of this match. Rob Cross has not been able to break Joe Cullen, but he has to do it here.
100.
We talk about this point a lot after 8 legs, where someone's 5-3 down, but Rob only needs that 1 breaker throw and 2 holes.
121.
But just to almost re-emphasize that point, if you're not breaking someone, it's either because you're not playing well or your opponent has just got
140.
I was told when I was 18 years of age that if you want to be a great dart player, you've got to hold your throw
54.
90% of the time. And just find that one break that you need when you've got the darts, and it'll be a cushy game. And that was Davy Richardson who taught me that from Gateshead.
Well,
great player.
It's not a bad formula.
140.
Rob Cross is doing not his best, but everything that he can right now to force an opening, to craft an opportunity.
140.
Cullen is 2 darts
Rob,
away from the match again. He was
121.
denied a go at it in the last leg. But he will not be denied a go at it this time.
43. Joe, you require 86.
What kind of emotion would we see from Cullen if this goes? Beautiful first dart. Double 8. He's in for the win. 6 legs to 4, and the #1 seed has come through a very stiff test there. An average of 97.03 and 50% on the doubles throughout. 6 from 12 is a good display. I have to say, with everything that we know about the Rockstar, there is more to give, and he might need it tonight in the quarters against James Wade or Luke Humphries. Do not go anywhere. Keep it here, because Wade Humphries, it will again take place here in Hungary after brilliant games this year, where it's pretty much 1-all who wins the decider. We will decide that when we come back after a little word. The Rockstar.
Ladies and gentlemen, into the quarterfinals, the Rockstar, Joe Cullen. Joe, yesterday after your match, we said the trebles were all right, a little more the doubles would be great. Doubles went well today, 50%, but today you could have done with a couple more maximums there.
Yeah, the trebles were shocking today, but the doubles is all that matters in this game, so it's weird how it works, isn't it? I couldn't miss a treble yesterday and couldn't find it today. Couldn't hit a double yesterday and hit everything today, so we'll see how tonight goes. I'm looking forward to it.
What's the preparation for tonight now? How are you going to spend the next couple of hours to get yourself ready for the quarterfinal?
Well, I've not eaten today yet, so I'm going to get something to eat. With being on first in the afternoon, I might have an hour's kip just to catch up a little bit. But yeah, I've done this 100 times now, so I know what I'm doing. So I'm looking forward to tonight, whether it be James or Luke.
He knows what he's doing. We're looking forward to tonight as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Rockstar Joe Cullen.